Caps for sale, a tale of a paddler, some monkeys and their monkey business. I see a paddler here sleeping in the tree, and then I see some monkeys there. Let's see what's happening with this book. Once there was a paddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary paddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. His own checked cap, 1 cap, and then gray caps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then brown caps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blue caps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and red caps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So he's not like the usual paddler who carry, stuff in the bag. But then he carried it on top of his head. It is a very difficult job, I would say. How do you balance all those caps? He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Cups! Cups for sale! 50 cents a cup! 50 cents a cup!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. Do you want me to read this again? So he carried these caps on his head, and he walked very straight up and down so he doesn't upset all the caps on his head. And then as he walked up and down, he said, "No. Cups! Cups for sale! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He cannot run, he cannot lean left or right. He has to walk very straight so his caps don't fall down. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And then he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. He's like sitting down slowly and then lean back a little bit so he can take a nap like this. Then he put up his hands to feel if they were straight, if the caps were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. So many caps. They were all there. So he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Oh! Is anything different here? Something is wrong here?
Yes. All the caps are gone.
Where did the caps go?
The monkey have them.
But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. All the other caps, blue ones, brown ones, red ones, and gray ones, are gone. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. There's no caps anywhere. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw?
Monkeys carrying caps.
Monkeys. This is what he saw. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The monkeys were wearing his caps. That is so funny. Where did monkey learn to wear the caps? So funny. The paddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the paddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. You monkeys, you! He said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps! But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, What, did the monkeys return his caps? No. This made the paddler angry, as he shook both hands at them and said, You monkeys, you! You give me back my caps! But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, What are the monkeys doing? What are the monkeys doing?
Copying.
The monkeys are copying. That is so funny, monkeys. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you!
Just stop
You
it.
better give me back my caps! But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Oh, the monkeys are not giving back his caps. By this time, the paddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, You monkeys, you! Oh, no, he's shouting up. You monkeys, you! You better give me back my caps! But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, The monkey is not ready to give him his caps. But what the monkeys are doing? At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. He's like, I'm doing it. Guess what's happening here?
The monkeys also throw their
What do you think, Asmi?
I didn't know. The monkeys were throwing.
You think so? But then each monkey pulled off his and her cap, and they were like, they also threw their cap down. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the paddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, Cups! Cups for sale! 50 cents a cup! The end.